So IDS, does that mean that's our silver bullet? That's all we need? Life's great? No, IDSs have, kind of a hard time in the industry, mainly because it detects the attack after it's already taken place. So you don't know anything that's going on until you're in the thick of it. Also, it can't detect any type of attacks that are coming through an encrypted channel. So if you've got an attack happening over SSL or IPsec or PPTP, it's not going to be able to decrypt and get access to that data or those packets to be able to inspect them. Another thing is that a sensor can get overwhelmed on the network. If there's so much traffic, a sensor will actually not be monitoring all the packets. And that's actually done on purpose sometimes by the attacker, where they're going to overwhelm the IDS so that they hope that their actual attack packets won't be picked up. So because if it's a busy environment, companies can have a sensor that's looking for one type of these signatures, and you can have another sensor that's looking for a different set of signatures, and so that one sensor itself is not going to be overwhelmed. And I talked about the switching environment. IDSs are basically sniffers. When we have all of these switches set up, it can't watch the traffic on each and every individual communication path. So we have to create what we call like a mirrored port, so that that's where we place the sensor to be able to detect something. Now it's, I don't know, it was a couple years ago that Gartner said IDS is dead. And a lot of people listen to Gartner, and a lot of the IDS companies freaked out because that means that people aren't going to buy their products anymore. But IDS works, but it's a frustrating thing because there's so many false positives. And a lot of companies have purchased IDS, implemented them, and then it throws out so many alerts, so many errors, that they just turn it off. They don't have the manpower to actually continually go and look at whatever's being generated. And because of that, the industry developed the IPS, the Intrusion Prevention System. And so instead of where IDS is after the fact, it says, hey, we're being attacked now, IPS will detect things before it gets in the environment to stop the attack. That's the goal, is to stop the attack. So an IPS really uses the same type of technology as an IDS. A lot of people say, well, isn't that just a firewall? Not necessarily, because most of them dig down deeper into an actual packet than a firewall. And you usually have an IPS and a firewall that either work together or they actually come together. The firewall will look at the traffic, make access decisions based on its rules, whether it's a packet filter, a stateful, whatever type of firewall it is. So to get rid of that, and then it goes to the IPS system, the intrusion prevention system, and that system will actually dig more into the packets to identify if there's anything malicious that's trying to come into the environment. So, IPS is kind of the new IDS, and the goal is to prevent instead of just detect. And we're at the market right now. We have to see how well it does. It's still kind of an immature technology, but we have to see how well it does and how much companies embrace it. So again, the difference is just before or after. And the reason that Gartner said that IDS is dead is because it causes so many alerts, it takes so many man hours, and if once you're under attack, well, what do? Now you're in reactive mode versus being in proactive of trying to prevent that.